Roman Reigns to win Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight title, the mastermind behind Paul Heyman's pairing with Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar's absence is affecting Cody Rhodes, and WWE fans tired of Bray Wyatt. Sami Zayn irrelevant after leaving the Bloodline. Roman Reigns was upset after embarrassing storyline. Roman Reigns carrying the WWE, and more. Let's jump right into it. Brock Lesnar's absence is affecting Cody Rhodes. Former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. recently spoke about Cody Rhodes carrying on his storyline with Brock Lesnar. Rhodes has been in a blood feud with Lesnar after WrestleMania. The two stars first clashed at Backlash, where Cody walked away with a win. However, at Night of Champion, Brock caught his adversary in the Kimura to win the match and bring the tally to 1-1. The American Nightmare is still not done with the Beast and is pushing for one last match to settle the matter once and for all. This week on the Wrestling with Freddie podcast, the former writer explained that the top stars like Lesnar were not always on the show to carry on the storyline. He mentioned that Cody was not wrestling every week and yet kept the story intriguing with his promo segments. It's gotta be difficult to keep the crowd behind you when you can't wrestle every week and have it mean something. When you're wrestling the top dudes are not wrestling every week like mid-carders. You just can't feed Cody mid-carders every week. That can get bland. He claimed that Rhodes was doing a great job of keeping the fans interested while Brock was away. So for him to come out there and cut these promos and make them different enough every week, but still living in that same vein, that's worthy of respect and all the social media celebration it's gotten. It's been a week, and I still see that Brock Lesnar is afraid of Cody Rhodes. I still see that over my Instagram feed. Despite two hard-hitting matches already, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are far from settling their differences. The American Nightmare has been calling out the Beast week after week for another showdown. Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer newsletter stated that the rubber match could go down at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes 3 is SummerSlam. SummerSlam Ford Field, match number 3. This year, SummerSlam will emanate from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan on August 5, 2023. Would you like to see Cody and Brock duke it out one more time? Let us know in the comments section below. The reason Cody Rhodes shouldn't win the championship. WWE Hall of Famer believes Cody Rhodes shouldn't win a championship as he is earning more credentials in his ongoing feud with Brock Lesnar. The American Nightmare challenged Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania, but couldn't finish the story. He has since been involved in a brutal feud with Lesnar and has seen both superstars lock horns twice, winning one match apiece. Although Rhodes has acknowledged that he is not yet done with the Beast, the American Nightmare still has his sights set on winning either world championship. However, Mick Foley believes it is important for Cody Rhodes not to win a championship just yet. The legendary superstar addressed the topic in the recent episode of Foley is Pod and said Rhodes is gaining more in his feud with Brock Lesnar. He explained that the storyline involving the Beast makes the top babyface look more credible. I think it's important that the title not go to Cody because I think what Cody's going through in this series with Brock Lesnar is giving him the credentials. There will definitely be a moment where he becomes that guy. Everyone will feel like he deserves it, Foley said. Rhodes and Lesnar locked horns last month at Night of Champions, where the Beast picked up a win. The American Nightmare fought the broken arm in kayfabe. WWE fans are excited to see a third match between the two superstars, a decider that would potentially end their feud. Cody Rhodes recently sent out a message to Brock Lesnar listing the cities where he will be competing in WWE shows along with the date. He demanded the Beast show up at any time of his choosing to settle the score. Recent backstage reports have claimed that WWE is planning to book the final chapter of the Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar trilogy at SummerSlam 2023. There have also been rumors about a jaw-dropping stipulation being added to the bout. In Lesnar's absence, Cody has turned his attention to the Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio after the pair humiliated him on Raw earlier this week. WWE fans tired of Bray Wyatt. Fans have seen many WWE superstars return from injury in 2023. One of the big names many fans are waiting to see back on their screens is Bray Wyatt. WWE released Wyatt in July 2021 after a lengthy stint with the company. He was rehired soon after in October 2022 at Extreme Rules. His grand return gave fans hope of seeing him in bigger matches and better booking. Bray Wyatt was not alone this time and returned with a masked figure known as Uncle Howdy. Upon his return, his initial feud with LA Knight took off, and the two men competed in the first ever pitch black match. He then built up a rivalry against Bobby Lashley, but their feud was dropped before they could compete in a match at WrestleMania 39. It was reported that the Eater of Worlds was out of competition due to an undisclosed injury. Wrestling World C's Twitter handle recently revealed that rumors hint at Wyatt's return to the ring. The rumor received mixed responses. While his fans want to see him back, a major portion of the WWE universe is not interested in seeing another return by the Eater of Worlds. The five-time champion has struggled over the past few years, even though he has brought many new and interesting characters to the WWE universe. Alexa Bliss's absence could also affect his story in the company, as it looked like she would be joining him again. It's been over 100 days since Bray Wyatt appeared on screen. He has had many short rivalries in recent years, and the creative team does not have long-term long-term plans for him. WWE legend Dutch Mantel recently said that he believes Wyatt got upset when the company got rid of his writer. Mantel added that he doesn't think Bray will get his $4 million salary to sit at home. I understand that when they got rid of Rob Fee, Bray Wyatt's writer, for some kind of differences, I think Bray got pissed off and I guess maybe said I'll quit or I'll do this. Well, they called his bluff, I think, and they told him to go home. Now, I don't know how this affects his contract. I'm sure he's not gonna get $4 million a year to sit at home. They're not gonna do that, said Mantel. It's still unclear what's going on regarding Wyatt's status with the company. However, his fans are patiently waiting to see how the Eater of Worlds will make his return this time. If you want to see Bray Wyatt in a major rivalry heading into WWE SummerSlam, share your thoughts in the comment section below. Sami Zayn irrelevant after leaving the bloodline. The WWE Universe isn't happy with Sami Zayn taking shots at Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa via his latest tweet. The bloodline's implosion began earlier this year when the former honorary youth betrayed Reigns and hit him with a steel chair at the Royal Rumble PLE. Fast forward to Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, Jimmy Uso became the latest member of the faction to blindside the tribal chief. Following last week's SmackDown, Sikoa posted a photo highlighting that both Zayn and Jimmy are kicked out of the bloodline. In response, the former honorary youth sent a 3-word message taunting both Reigns and Sikoa. However, a large portion of the WWE Universe claimed that Zayn has been irrelevant since leaving the bloodline. Others also suggested that the 38-year-old is still obsessed with Reigns while reminding him of his loss at Elimination Chamber in Montreal earlier this year. Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns formed an alliance back in 2020. A special counsel recently revealed who came up with the idea of Heyman siding with the tribal chief. In an appearance on Rick Rubin's Tetragrammaton podcast, the Wiseman revealed that it was Vince McMahon who came up with the idea of Heyman serving as the manager of Reigns. He said, "Vince calls me in the middle of August and he says, 'We're gonna take you back into television,'" Heyman said. "I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna make me a commentator and Jim Ross isn't here." I said, "Okay, well, what you got in mind?" He says, "I'm going to put you with somebody." He continued, "I said, well, you know, Vince, the options are kind of limited and I'm trying to tiptoe into a delicate situation here where I'm about to butt heads with him." He goes, "I'm envisioning Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. I'm thinking, oh my god, he's gonna pull the trigger on this. He would never pull it with Cena. He would never have allowed Cena to come to the dark side." This coming Friday night on SmackDown, the drama within the bloodline will continue as Jey Uso has been asked to pick a side between his brother Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns. Do you think the bloodline will implode or get back on the same page? Sound off in the comment section below. Roman Reigns was upset after embarrassing storyline. The WWE superstar Roman Reigns allegedly had had enough after being involved in the infamous dog food storyline with Baron Corbin. Reigns has come a long way over the years. As the tribal chief, he is quite possibly the biggest wrestling star in the world today. Things weren't as good for him back in the day though. Roman Reigns went through a lot to reach his current status as a megastar. Back when he was a babyface, he was struggling on the mic and some of the storylines that he was involved in were embarrassing at best. Paul Heyman recently had a talk with Rick Rubin and revealed that the Suffer and Succotash promo and the dog food angle with Baron Corbin made Reigns think hard about his standing on the main roster. While the Suffer and Succotash promo took place way back in 2015, the dog food segment happened in late 2019. Mere months after the dog food segment, Reigns turned heel. Here's what Paul Heyman said. "The feud rivalry story with Baron Corbin over dog food and the infamous Suffer and Succotash promo had weighed on him enough to where he said, 'I had enough. I've reached the cap. I can't go any further. As the big dog, I've peaked. And as an athlete, I haven't peaked as a performer. I barely scratched the surface. I have so much more to offer, and since I'm taking time off, I'm not coming back as the same person.'" At WWE SummerSlam 2020, Reigns made his massive return and turned heel in process. He aligned with Paul Heyman mere days later. Over the past 3 years, Reigns has dominated the main roster like very few have done before him. Roman Reigns' aura is unmatched and he is as confident as he's ever been. His promos have also improved quite a lot since his heel turn. One wonders where Reigns would be today if he hadn't turned heel back in 2020. What was your immediate reaction to the dog food segment? Failing NXT cash-in on Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. With WWE Money in the Bank inching closer, fans have been speculating as to who would be the one to climb up the ladder and unhook the briefcase. Crowd favorite LA Knight is the leading candidate to win the contract. However, fans fear he may fail when he cashes it in on either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. Knight defeated Montez Ford on last week's episode of SmackDown to qualify for the Money in the Bank match. The fact that LA Knight was cheered over Ford, who's been a babyface in WWE for years, is a testament to the former's popularity. Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura are the others to have qualified for the NITB match. In a recent interview, the 40-year-old mentioned every singles champion on the main roster as his target if he wins the contract come July 2nd. His comments have received mixed reactions from fans on social media, as many believe LA Knight is bound to have a failed MITB cash-in attempt. On the other hand, some even believe the former Impact Wrestling champion might not even win the contract in the first place. In a recent interview, LA Knight explained the fact that he wasn't handpicked by anyone and achieved success on his own. This, according to him, is the reason why fans have gotten behind him. The 40-year-old added that the crowds across the globe cheer him because they know he's leaps and bounds better than any of his contemporaries. I didn't get shoved down anybody's throat. I wasn't anybody's guy. I came in and I did my thing in the whole world, whether you take me to Saudi Arabia, whether you take me to London, whether you take me to Puerto Rico, you can take me to Mobile, Alabama. And every place is going to make a whole lot of noise for LA Knight. You know why that is? Because they can see that I stand head and shoulders above everybody walking, said LA Knight. With so much momentum behind him, it's safe to say no other competitor in the MITB match stands a higher chance than LA Knight to secure the contract. Do you see the SmackDown superstar winning a world title in WWE before the end of 2023? Sound off in the comments section below. Roman Reigns carrying the WWE. Roman Reigns has been at the top of the mountain in WWE, and former writer Freddie Prinze Jr. believes that he is doing his bit to pull up other stars with him. The bloodline has been in disarray after Jimmy Uso decked Reigns with 2 super kicks at the Night of Champions. Roman failed to win the undisputed tag team championships at the event, and then confronted the Usos on SmackDown this past week, which culminated in Solo Sikoa planting Jimmy with the Samoan Spike. This week on the Wrestling with Freddie podcast, Freddie pointed out how Roman has been sharing the spotlight with the likes of Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and now Jimmy Uso. He also mentioned that Solo was the next big character in the storyline. He credited the Tribal Chief for working with these stars and bringing them to the top level. They've really shared the spotlight for everyone involved in this story. From Sami to Jey to Jimmy, Solo is going to be the next one, and Roman, of course. He's doing this thing. He does this thing every week. I probably don't say how good he is enough because we're just so used to him being good, but he's killing it. He's the foundation that everyone's standing on right now, so shout out to him. Former WWE manager Dutch Mantel recently spoke about Roman Reigns' involvement in the Bloodline angle. He claimed that the 2.5-year-long storyline has been one of the greatest sagas in WWE in recent memory. The last one, the tag match with Roman Reigns and Solo versus Sami and Kevin, the match wasn't that great. I don't give a asterisk about that match. I want to know the story that they're telling, and at the end, they advance that story. As long as the story gets advanced, and this is probably one of the greatest long-term angles that I've seen in my lifetime. The Usos will be on SmackDown this Friday to discuss their fallout with Roman and Solo Sikoa. Do you think Roman Reigns is headed for a collision with the Usos in the near future? Let us know in the comments section below. Roman Reigns to win Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight title. Roman Reigns is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion who has been the mainstay of SmackDown, leaving Raw without a world champion. This recently changed as Seth Rollins filled that spot by becoming the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion of the Red Brand. However, wrestling veteran Vince Russo said that Reigns could make a controversial decision if he wins Rollins' title too. On the latest episode of Writing with Russo, Vince Russo spoke to Dr. Chris Featherstone about the newly introduced World Heavyweight Championship and how Roman Reigns fits into it all. Russo said that if it were up to him, he would have let Roman Reigns compete and win the World Heavyweight Championship and unify the titles again. I would do something as crazy as this: let Roman Reigns compete for it. Let Roman win it, then let him say, bro, I ain't walking around with 3 belts. I have to go through airport. And like the old days, I'm going to literally melt all the gold together and we're going to have 1 belt because I cannot be carrying 3 belts around with me. I would do something like that, and whatever the name is going to be, and do something from there. That's the thing, it's illogical, and you know it's illogical, and that it makes no sense. But the WWE Universe will buy anything, he said. Earlier on the show, Vince Russo also admitted that he feels WWE is doing a disservice to Seth Rollins, and he feels the Visionary is a secondary champion compared to the Tribal Chief. It absolutely does to me. It does because it honestly feels like we can't take these titles off Roman Reigns, so we're just going to create another title. I don't know how we could feel any different to anybody else. That's basically what they did. And it has nothing to do with Seth Rollins. Whoever is the champion, I would feel the same way. To me, that was the premise, which means this champion isn't good enough to beat Roman, he said. Do you agree with what Vince Russo said? Let us know in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm